This week I'm in what would be considered the flagship of the 4 Series, if you don't count the M4 of course, the 440i Coupe. It's probably one of my favorite BMWs because it's just so unassuming. And I much prefer, if you've ever seen my reviews on things that stand out, I think one of my worst cars ever driving around, and not because the car was shit, was the Ford Mustang. Because people just stare at you. Whereas a car like this is targeted at people who want performance but want comfort, and not kind of in-your-face sports car look. So people traveling around you and walking around you don't notice you almost, unless they're true petrol heads. And then they'll look at it and then you can see they're quite impressed by it. So this car houses one of BMW's new modular engines, codenamed B58. And like the previous N55, it is a straight 6-cylinder power plant. It is a 3-litre turbocharged direct injection engine, which gives you 240 kilowatts of power and 450 newton meters of torque, and can take you from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 5 seconds. That's quick, huh? It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, which is really slick, and fuel consumption is claimed at 6.6 litres per 100 k's. Oh my gosh. Okay, this car, the retractable seat belts that come forward, it tends to retract. Obviously it's at a speed or something, but shit, it gives me a little nervous breakdown each time. I think there's someone in the car. The first time it happened, it was at night. I nearly changed into a pair of brown pants and crapped myself. Stunning. Ooh! Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar, baby. This car is deceptively fast, and it's rather unassuming, which I love. Even the M Sport body kit is subtle. So, like I said, unless you're a true petrol head or really know your cars, you might not point out or be able to point out what this car actually is. But I stick to the 2000s today. See what comes out of it. The spaciousness is probably one of the most surprising things in a car like this, in a coupe. In the rear especially. I think if you hopped in the back there, you can see there's more than enough legroom. And that's why this car for me is like an all-rounder, because it's got the thrill that you seek from a performance car, but then it also is comfortable and you can drive it around town and you could go on a road trip in it. With a kiss and a thank you, miss. You can opt for adaptive suspension, but I think the standard M Sport suspension is comfortable and uncompromising enough. You wouldn't need to pay the extra 11,000 rand for the adaptive suspension, but you know, each to their own. If you're paying around 850,000 rand for this car, then perhaps you want the extra bells and whistles. For 850,000 rand, you can expect certain standard features. You've got all leather interior, you've got cruise control, there's rear parking sensors with a rear parking camera, your infotainment system, which is 20 gigs of storage space for music, which is pretty cool. But I don't need it because I got Apple Music now. Ah! Ian McGuire, this is for you.
Matter of fact, you should take 4B and think before you fuck a little skateboard B. When the pimp's in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. When the pigs try to get at you, park it like it's hot, park it like it's hot, park it like it's hot. And if a nigga get an attitude, pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot. Got the Rolling Stone, yeah.
Okay, wow. Again, you don't quite realize just how quickly you're going in this car. Oh. It is a beauty. I must admit, I wish that the interior was a little bit more thrilling. It's a very stock standard BMW, which I think we've all come to expect, which is a bit boring and a bit bland now. It needs to just up itself. But if you're a BMW fan, you probably love it and you would hate for it to change. Fun! This was never the way I planned. My intention. It handles beautifully. Oh, such a dynamic little bugger.
I kissed a girl and I liked it. The taste of her cherry chapstick. I kissed a girl just to try it. I hope my boyfriend don't mind it.
Speaking of space, the boot is 445 litres, which is generous. I guess if you're doing a bit of a road trip with 4 adults, you might struggle with the boot space. Well, if I'm packing, that is. But regards to interior space and rear leg room and in here, everything, it's just more than what one would expect for a car like this. I didn't really kiss the girl. No, I didn't. Every now and again you hear that grrrr. It's a nice sound. But again, it's unassuming. I don't need people staring at me when I'm driving a car. It's so embarrassing.
I like